Okay, this is the second play of the game, and you've got what is effective zone coverage, but it's effectively one-on-one because that corner is going to take this receiver in their coverage, and he's soft into the boundary. It's a really short, easy throw with a ton of cushion on 2nd and 10. Second play of the game, just take it, 5-yard completion, turns into a 10-yard play. There's not a ton to look at here other than, I don't know what the call is. Some of this looks like there could be, that zone run fake built into it if it's an RPO play and you're taking it because all that offensive line is moving to the right. Like, it looks like run blocking right there if you look at the offensive line. But you notice your back's not even going through a fake. He's just, stepping backside. And I think this is just a side adjust, maybe a conversation, or they get a call here where you see this, okay, with safety walk down and super soft corner trying to leverage inside to use the boundary. It means he's going to take him one-on-one. And so without even going through the fake, right? Because this looks like zone blocking this way. And you would zone read, you'd leave him unblocked, the back would come across, and the quarterback would read and eyeball this guy and decide, do I give or keep? And so everything looks that way except for the quarterback in the back. Because the back immediately steps up to take him. Everybody else is blocking that zone play, and he goes through no fake and just raises up and takes the hit. So I think that's a read. I don't know that. But, it sure will work that way because they can't be right. So that's the second play of the game, an underneath completion to Mosley in the boundary. So then you come back the very next play, and everything's really similar. There he is singled up in the boundary, cornerback, same sort of position, same formation here with, 3 to the wide side. The difference is, and on this play, third play, you just switch the back over. Now he's starting on this side, and I think this is another RPO read. This time he's going to pull it, read somebody, take the one-on-one, and here we go, touchdown, go ball on the sideline. Managed to stay in after they reviewed it. So third play of the game, you get a bomb go ball, and it's back-to-back throws, same formation. The only difference is the back's on the other side, gone to the same guy against the same corner. And on this play, again, I'm not in the huddle, but what it looks like to me is quarterback is reading this. You've got a run-pass option in here, and I think he's put his eyes on this safety. And if you'll kind of stay with me here, watch that safety, see him come down. Everything else is a run play or is run blocking. Okay, so if you look at your offensive line here, if you watch your tight end and you watch the action of the back. So here's 5 blockers, a 6 with a tight end. They're all run blocking. Tight end stepping up to take this linebacker. You're comboing off this 3 up to this linebacker. It's a run play. And what that means is the way it's designed, they got a 4-man front. Here's 2 in the box. There's a 6-man box, right? And you can block 6 right here with 6. So you got 6 on offense, 6 in the box. But if they bring a 7th down in here, that's a little bit of a numbers advantage for them. And if I pull it, I may have an advantage one-on-one somewhere, even though they got an extra defender to the field. And so I think that's what's happening. I don't know that, but that's the way it looks to me is, you got an RPO call. He can read it and give or keep and based on what he wants to do. I think it looks to me like Shapen is putting his eyes on it. Safety over the ball. They're giving you a 2 safety look. Because you've got 6 in the box, if he's the 7th and he comes down, which he does on the snap, I'm going to pull it and I'm taking my best, right? And to this case, you're going to have people open to the field. It's just they've got, 3 over 2. And over here, it's a one-on-one. And what I think also is this route is dependent on how he plays it. If this particular RPO call, if he's head up and lets you leverage inside, it may turn into a slant. It may turn into a skinny post. I don't know that. I just know that he stays inside and hesitates with his eyes in and takes his eyes off his coverage responsibility. He looks at the play fake here on 1st and 10. And when he hesitates, you're going to see receiver. He doesn't go straight go off the ball. He kind of slows down here, shows his hand, and then takes off. And that's the way it works. So that's a lot of analysis on one play. That's what it looks like to me. TV actually gave you a replay of, you could kind of see his, specifically his action, Mosley up top on the route right there. See what I mean? So like if it's straight go ball call, he's going to sprint, and never slow down. Right here, it's almost like he's reading it. You see him peek at the corner. Like he's looking at what's the corner doing going inside. So now I'm showing, I'm adjusting, and now I turn on the gas once the ball's there. That's another reason why he was so wide open. State got off the field 3 and out, a couple of series to start the game back to back. This is a run play, and nose guard transfer Bingley Jones is going to stand up the center. He'll make the play. It's helped by you get a free rusher off the edge that they can't account for. Take a look at it, but watch the center, and Jones stands him up, falls off, makes a play short of the stick. Now, that's really good. What I see here is numbers advantage State. Now, they only need 3 yards. They're trying to block inside, and so they're not really, I think, worried about numbers. They're not going to check it off. But the way this works is you got 5 and 6 with a tight end, so it should be 6 on 6, right? And they're releasing him to the next level in the run play. So they got 6 to block 6. State with 3 down, and all 3 of their linebackers here walked up, and all 6 are coming. What they do, though, is they got tight splits, and so tight end is in here comboing with this tackle, and it lets a guy off the edge free. And so him forcing that, there's nowhere to bounce. You got to stay inside, and if you got to stay inside, somebody in here's got to win if you're State, right? If we're going to force him and it stays inside, somebody's got to win. That's what you get. You know, this is just an individual win by the nose. Stand up the center, and 2 guys at, point of impact there, just past the line of scrimmage. You get a stop on 3rd and 3. Here's a good look at it from TV, just behind the goal post. Here he is right here. You're just going to see him. It's one-on-one. Your other guys stand up in the gap. Now, he's not a D lineman, but because of the formation, you get a double team, tackle, and guard on a linebacker. That's pretty good for them. But if somebody's getting comboed or double teamed, in this case, comboed, that means you got some guys getting singled, and somebody's got to win. There's a single, there's a single, and there's a single. And so somebody's got to win. And in this case, it's the nose. Stand him up, push him back, get off the block. And you got help, right? Because you had numbers, and they didn't get out there on the edge. Kevin Coleman had himself a big day, and in the punt return game and in the receiving game, motion across, going to throw a screen to him down here into the boundary. And get a little bit of a look at it first. Nice block by Traore, the tight end. And you got a first down in there in the red zone. And so here's how State got it done versus coverage they got. Line up initially in 4 wide, split them 2 by 2, back to the right of the quarterback into the boundary with the ball in the right hash. So the way they defend it, it's like they did before, 3 down and walk 1 down on the side of the back. Your other 2 linebackers here in a box. But in this case, they've got their nickel walk down on 1st and 10. And what's happening is they're rotating. They kind of give you a cover 2 look with 2 safeties. I'll clear this screen up for you. So kind of giving you a 2 safety look here pre-snap. But what they are doing is getting people involved in the box, less involved in coverage. So he's going to be your flat, and it's a cover 3. Deep third, deep third, deep third. And that helps, right? When you're running this screen, because of motion, I'm going to wind up with 3. That means 2, blocking out in front, tight end to get the safety that comes down. And the soft corner. If you get a cover 2 corner, he comes up here, it's a little bit more of a muddy picture sometimes. But the other thing in the design is it's screened in the boundary. So they go zone steps all this way to, get him this way. And it helps on the edge because he sees the tackle steps and he's going to have to turn and peel and get back out. You don't even have much of a run fake with it, but it pulls him in, and now he's that much farther away. Tight end comes across, pretty good block right here, serviceable. You don't get pancake, but you're in the right spot and get on him. Good job outside too. Corner tries to go upfield and run around it just a little bit. And you'd like more contact. If he's going to run around it, you're in a good spot if it comes your way. All right, this is, quarterback who's going to cut it back here after a little motion that came across and kind of get the defense running with him. He cuts it back for a touchdown. And it's a little bit difficult for me to kind of figure out exactly how it all happened. I mean, you can see it, play fake, they cover it underneath, and he just turns it back for a touchdown. But in terms of reading it and who's got who, one thing you do know is that there's some man-to-man coverage built in this, right? This is man-to-man all the way, because when he goes speed motion across, he's running with him step for step. It's obvious that's man-to-man. It's obvious that's man-to-man. And then what I'm trying to figure out is tight end on the line of scrimmage right here. So if he were to release, somebody's got him in man-to-man coverage too. You know, maybe it's this defender, maybe it's this one. One of them does. But what I think's going on is I think in all this man-to-man, you know, they've put 4 down. They're rushing 5. I think he's got rush either way because he's opposite the back, right? If you're opposite the back, a lot of times zone will go back this way, I think. So I think these guys are playing run all the way on 3rd and 3, and I think everybody else is in man. I think he's got the back. I think he would have tight end if he release. I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe it's the opposite. He's obviously in man. He's in man. He's in man. And, you know, just based on his action, I don't think this is a free safety on this play. I think he may be spying this quarterback right here. And those are all your man-to-man responsibilities, what it looks like to me. So you go motion, he runs with him, it's obvious man. Snap was pretty close right there. You know, just in time, half second later, it's going to hit your guy in motion, but handled pretty well by the quarterback. And now you go run fake, right? So he puts it in his belly. And again, that's why I say it's a little bit hard to figure out, is because run fake and you think all these man responsibilities, tight end has gone down inside. This defender is already headed to the flat. So what happens is, you know, you kind of get covered out here. You got another man-to-man, and then you've got this extra defender underneath. So when Shapen pulls the ball to go, they've got 3 defenders out here on 2 receivers, and there's nowhere to go with the football, right? See that? So, you know, they got in that circle 3 defenders, 2 receivers. You're blocking out on the edge. You have a route under here. There's nowhere to go with the football. And so he's so easily able to score because if you go back, and I said it looked to me like you've got the guy who lined up as a sort of a safety spying him. And if you just kind of watch him mirror him, when Shapen runs left, there goes 11, the safety. And now when he cuts it back, there's nobody left. I just think it's a smart play by the quarterback. It's blocked well up front, too, because you didn't have anybody losing on the line of scrimmage. Again, you know, several ways to look at it. But if you look at these 2 right here, quarterback and 11, he's mirroring him out, cut it back, and now he's gone. Now here's another 3rd down stop for State's defense early in the game. Did some good things. Pretty aggressive call. Bringing 5 with a 4-man front on 3rd and 6, playing a bunch of man, and you get a blow up, get off the field. And the reason I said, you know, it looks like you're playing a bunch of man to me, you know, you don't have anybody back here deep on 3rd and 6. Previous 3rd downs, they've tried to run the ball just right up to shoot. And so State's got 4 down. They're usually a 3-down team, 4 down. And the back being away to the field, so this walk down defender here, he's coming too. He's firing off the edge. He didn't have a man-to-man responsibility in his face. So what you've got is corner man-to-man here. I believe you got this responsibility man-to-man here. I also think this safety is looking, you know, if he releases this tight end, he's got him. What happens is the back stays in, and when he does, who I think this linebacker would have him in man, when he stays in, he jumps all over the tight end who comes up and, you know, slams into him coming across. And so that's why you get actually 2 defenders over here where you get flushed. And that's the other thing too, is with all that happening, there's just some urgency too. I mean, the back for them is doing a pretty good job picking up the outside. Quarterback steady in the pocket. He did a pretty good job. But there, you just stay active, you know, and flush him. You don't actually make the play, but you flush him. And now things are breaking down a little bit. We got an extra defender. He's got to rush a throw and try to make something happen and get off the field. That's a really good job. All right, here goes punt return. First big punt return of the night for Kevin Coleman. He had several line drive punts. And, I mean, he's obviously really good and really fast. And it just has a knack for this. And blocking's good, too. We'll take a look at it. You know, it doesn't happen just because of one guy. You know, he is, I think, the best athlete on the field, and that's a big help, too. Okay, and the line drive punt. I don't know that I'd seen many games where you'd seen that many line drive punts to this kind of guy. But look, it takes everybody. This is a good job, right? He's a little bit upfield, but get your hips around there. Make sure your arm's in front, and don't get stuck behind him and get a call. That's pretty good. And this is good, too. You know, watch 80 right here for State. He's got one who's upfield. Try to do something, get in front, make sure you don't get a call. You know, you're in the way. Make it kind of, don't give anybody a free shot. Get up there, get upfield, and get in the way. That's pretty good right there. And then these are good. You got 2 happening here. 1 and 2, you're in the right spot. And give you guys a chance when you get players in the right position on the return. A little help up the sideline from Craver. And he didn't have to block anybody, but he helped. But you just get a look. When you really see it end zone, it's just a great vision, great speed, great elusiveness. And this guy's electric. He's exciting. He's fun to watch. Here's just a little bit of razzle-dazzle. We're going reverse after a give to a receiver in the backfield. Running back lined up as a receiver, and he's motioning across. And it really just kind of worked perfectly. You get running back and tight end as lead blockers. The reverse pitch, no delay on the handoff. One last block, cut it back, and you score. Creed Whittemore, great speed. I'm trying to get him involved. And don't drop the ball too quick going in the end zone is a coaching point most likely. We saw this in the game. We were calling on the radio. You could see you got trips, and we noted, okay, your running back is lined up wide left, and you got a receiver, Coleman, actually lined up, as the back. So there's one indication. Okay, now here we go, motion across. And what's going to happen is this back and this tight end coming across are going to be your two lead blockers. Once this reverse happens, we're going to give here, and then here we go with the reverse. It's done well up front. They only have 3 down. That helps you. So the formation helped you right here. 3 and then 3. They got 1 here walked up. But there's a couple things that are accomplished by this action of giving it to the back, or he's the back, but he's the receiver, giving it to the back this way and blocking it this way and even comboing up, is a couple of these defenders that are in the middle, instead of skating out and seeing reverse, they step down. If you can get them a couple of steps out of position, that's that much farther they have to go. All right, so initially, that all works. See that? So we've gotten handoff here to a back. We're about to get the reverse happening, and we've got a couple who are stepping this way, and the ball is going away from them right away. The other thing we have happening is now, we're clear. We're clear on the line of scrimmage. We're going to get upfield with the back and the tight ends, 2 lead blockers. And the quarterback, after giving it here, he's just trying to get in this guy's way, that backside edge defender's way, just enough so that the ball carrier, Whittemore on the reverse, doesn't, have to make him miss himself. That's good enough. You're not going to block anybody. Mostly if you're quarterback, but you're good enough. You're just kind of in the way. Now, back is upfield. He's one, and I like this. Lee does not waste time on the block. Like you've done it, you're expecting our guy to be up the sideline quickly. So don't get caught up with that. Once you've hit him and you're there, you've got him spun. Now keep going, and he does. He's, instead of just hanging here, see, with him, I'm in position, I'm passing, he's already looking at the sideline, expecting Creed to be up the sideline, and here he comes. Ball's going to get here, and we get a knockdown. Okay, it goes to the ground. So once that happens, there's a tight end. Once this happens, now it's 1 on the next one, and that 1 out in the open field, my ball carrier's got to make him miss, and he does. Here's a look from behind. Going to see how those linebackers react to the give. See that? See 11 on the right side of your screen there defensively. Again, even though, this is obviously a receiver, but it's a guy who State's offense wants to get the ball to. So here they give it to him. Now he's gone, right? Now the reverse is coming, but he's got to respect that. So it kind of gets him removed from the play a little bit, and now we outrun him. All right, so here is a 4th and 1 play. And so, you're up 21-0, and you want to keep this drive going, obviously. And you line it with a tight end 2x2. So you split wide left, ball in the middle of the field, and tight end hip. And this is a 4th and 1 play. It looks like not a read. This is just a straight zone give call to me. Okay. But maybe it's a read. It looks like a give, but even if you are reading it, you got the tight on this side. They're not treating him like there's someone they're reading right there, because we know we're blocking him, right? So however you get to this, whether it's called or read this way, this is straight give. And this is a smart play by the running back right here to recognize and see that once I've stepped in and the linebacker has stepped down, I'm bouncing this and getting a free first down instead of, feeling like you have to punch it up in there. It's just good vision. So then the ball winds up on the ground because he's changing hands right here, and it pops out. He's trying to switch hands and it pops out. Now, here's what I like. Right now, the ball's on the ground. Okay. The two closest players to the football by far are defenders. One there, one there. And the two guys who get the ball are State's guys, 7 and 18, Craver and Traore, who are farther away from the ball. Watch 18 and 7 both dive in here. First of all, 18, go get it. Ball's on the ground. This is great hustle. Just throw yourself at it. I mean, there's nothing more urgent than a ball on the ground. So he really beats the defender almost to the football. And then here's what I like too. Right here, 7, young guy, get in there. Get in there. Don't stand there and watch it. He sees 2 white jerseys and 1 maroon, and get in there and fight like crazy. And they did this all night. There were 3 times the ball was on the ground, and I think all 3 times I thought the other team should have recovered it, and somehow State's guys came out of the huddle, out of the pile with it. And in this case, I don't know if they credited Traore with the recovery, but I noticed that it was 7 Craver who came out with the football. And that's just, these are the little things in a game like this. You're up 21-0. You turn it over right there. Things look different, right? But again, I go back to this. The urgency with the ball on the ground. They've got 2, maybe 3 even. 1, 2, and 3 who are closer. And State just outfights them for the football. And I think that's a really good sign. Touchdown on 1st and 10 right here to put you up 4 scores in the second quarter. Sounds like a Abraham Lincoln speech. 4 scores in the second quarter. But it's a switch route. So vertical, push to the inside and get vertical inside. Right here, I'm rubbing off of that, or like a rub route, because you're going to have somebody covering the flat, and then he's up the sideline right there. So kind of switching that up, or rub route, and Shapen reads the coverage. You got a 5-man rush. 5-man protection is really well done. Put it up, throw him open to the back pylon. That is really beautiful. And I wish we had a full field look at it, but you can kind of see what's happening right here on the release. And, the backside does not have a ton to do with it. You've got an underneath route against zone coverage by the tight end backside. I don't know what you've got to the field, but if we back it on up, you can see that there's a lot of cushion out there pre-snap. And I think I would, and a lot of quarterbacks, we'd be tempted to go, that's the wide side of the field. I got strong enough arm, and look at all that cushion. I'm going to take something out there. But it's just smart. You can tell he's well coached and he knows what he's doing. Protection was really good too. 5-man. They bring these 5. The back checks and release this way. But it's really picked up nicely, and they run a twist on the inside. But what happens is outside receiver that goes in, they rotate down. They're showing 2 safeties in the middle of the field. It's not cover 2. And the depth of this corner really kind of shows you that that's what's happening, because on the snap, he fires, he's rushing. And so he becomes the flat defender underneath. And what that means is that's his responsibility in the zone, is this area. If anybody threatens this area out here in the zone, that's his responsibility. His responsibility is deep third. This safety's responsibility is deep third in the middle of the field. He's already in the middle. And then this corners deep third, or matching up with the 1 receiver wide side of the field, that sort of thing. And so on the release, because of those responsibilities, when you go inside and vertical, this flat defender comes down and you kind of rub off of that. He gets caught, running lateral while Coleman is running vertical and runs right by him. And you could see it, in the stadium. Right about in here is where the ball is let go, and they are even. Okay, but that rule of, if you got a guy who's kind of rounding it off trying to catch, and I got a guy running upfield, and by the time they're even, that means he's leaving. If he's even, he's leaving. And this is a really good, job from a timing standpoint from Shapen. Watch when he lets it go. So keep your eyes. Let's do this. Let's just watch these 2 until I pause it. So watch their route until I pause it. Here they go. See him come down. All right, so dropping deep third, coming down to the flat, but a little bit of a rub route behind you can call it wheel as well. And then watch the timing when he lets it go. See him top of or left of your screen? I'm just now coming off of that. I'm even, but I'm about to be leaving past him. And now watch Shapen let the ball go right now. See, now he's run away from him. Now I've put it on the back pylon. Perfect throw. Beautiful play. Okay, now this is a really fun one to watch. Just straight up go ball, release touchdown up top, 4 receivers, 5 out on the route because they only rush 4. Good protection. Just pump it up over their coverage, get behind them, and you beat them bad enough that it's really an underthrow. So you have to kind of stop and wait on it at the 8, but still, it's a touchdown. And it's fun to look at this for me because you can get a whole field view here from the television coverage and you can see what the formation does to them. All right, so 4 wides, splitting the field, ball in the middle, single back, shotgun. I mean, very basic formation. But this is also very basic. 4 down, 3 underneath, 2 safeties in the middle of the field pre-snap, make it look like 2, cover 2, but it's not. It's cover 3. One is rotating down into the zone. The other is going on top. And by cover 3, that means 1, 2, 3 in the deep coverage responsibility. These 4 in the underneath coverage responsibility. If it were cover 2, that means 1, 2 deep responsibility, splitting the deep part of the field. He's got one deep part of the field. He's got the other deep part of the field. Everybody else will be underneath, which means the corners are kind of the indicator. If it's cover 2, that corner's responsibility is out here flat. Same thing for this corner. And they'd be up a little closer to the line of scrimmage, and on the snap, they would certainly stay in here. But they're not. It's rotating it. He's up underneath zone, deep, deep, deep. Okay. And when you're, an experienced quarterback like Shapen, you're young, sometimes you don't see that, but he's seen enough. He's seen that. So then the route on the release. They only rush 4. Get a little play fake built in there, but it doesn't matter. 2nd and 10. Everybody's dropping. And so, in terms of what he's putting his eyes on, I think it is just play fake. He's watching coverage. Like, I don't think this is RPO with a run built in there. A little bit of a smash sort of concept out here to the left with a stop on the outside and either a corner or that width go out here. And the flat defender jumps all over it. The deep defender drops with it. You'll see that. So if you watch the bottom of the screen, you can see that happen. Flat jumps on the hitch. And then he's running with the deep. The other thing is you can see happening is this safety going back to the middle and, this corner dropping and running. But it's not great technique. I mean, his eyes are inside, okay? And if you've got that deep third, once you get this, release, vertical release, you got to get back, and he's a little bit slow doing that. The routes are interesting because the inside, to me, it's almost like stretching the field vertically because you get a push it up to 14 curl route on the inside. You get a check down underneath, and then you get the go ball on top. So it's like we're going to stress them here, here, and here at 3 levels, all right there in the lane of the quarterback. And again, in terms of what he sees, if you just watch up top, the safety cannot get all the way over there if they're going to rotate it that way. And with his eyes in that zone, in that curl zone, I see one safety come down. I see him come down. I know it's a one-on-one go ball, and it's just a matter of does he win. And he's got confidence he's going to win and put it up there. Fun to watch. Good look at the route concept. And obviously he's gone. And here you push up and then back to the football at 14. And, even against that zone, he's open. I mean, really, there's a throwing lane. Like as a quarterback, if you just want to shoot it in there and throw a curl route, he's coming right back to you. You got a throwing lane. But one thing that Shapen showed in this game is if they made mistakes, he found it. And good quarterbacks, they have that knack. They have that knack for just finding your mistake and exploiting it. And Shapen has a little bit of that. Protection up front was really good. It tried to run a twist. It really got caught up. But again, he's across. He's trying to come around. Blocked up really well. You got to have plenty of time, and you do. Little bit of an underthrow, but you beat him bad enough it didn't matter. Okay, now they did go on a scoring drive here. You're in the last minute before halftime, but some of that was helped by you're making them play against the clock. You're only rushing 3. Here's an example on a 2nd and 10 play. Rushing 3, and you're not able to really affect the quarterback, so he's sitting back there comfortable. And most people, 3-man rush, plenty of time. Quarterback's going to sit back there and find somebody against soft zone coverage. And you play soft zone coverage to just make them play against the clock. You're almost more willing to give up completions in this last minute of the half underneath because they have to run more plays. You don't want to give up touchdowns, give up easy score. So you rush 3. But, in the SEC, when you rush 3, you're not going to use it as an excuse. You got to get there, and that's part of the reason. They double the nose. You got help on the outside. It's one-on-one on the backside end, and nobody's able to get free. We could say holding, but they're not going to call that. So it's just an example of how they went on the drive. And then down here on the touchdown play, it was a fantastic play is what it was. I mean, this is a really good outside rush right here, just beating the backside of their protection on the tackle. Completely underneath swim. You're free to the quarterback, and this quarterback feels it. And we'll see end zone. I don't even know that he can see. He's just he knows I've got an inside release. Safety has moved out. There's nobody in the middle of the field. He knows he's got somebody in there. And on 3rd and 7, there's 7 seconds left. You're trying to put it in there. He knows he's about to get popped, and he is. And the kid just stands in there and makes a play. And I'm really impressed. Gets hammered, helmet comes off, and throws himself a touchdown in the back. It's a great catch, too. So that's one of those where, he just made a play. The end zone view of this, you can really see sort of from his vantage point. So he knows I've got this in break. I don't have any defenders back here in the end zone. Whether or not he can see where he is or not, I don't know. You can see what he sees as he throws a football. He knows right here I'm fixing to get popped. Like it's going to happen. And he's giving somebody a chance. Throws it in there, gets hit, puts it over the head of the umpire, and kid makes a catch in the back of the end zone. And it's not like you didn't defend it pretty well. They just made a play. So here's 4th down and 3, and you're going to throw it. Ball in the middle of the field, 2 receivers left, including the tight end. To right, the wide side of the field. Back is to the right of the quarterback. They go zone coverage. On 4th and 3, it's just straight drop back against 4-man rush. Lower that arm slot, throw a hitch. Bunch of yards after the catch for Coleman. And so, I was going back and looking at this one. I just think it's an early sign of a quarterback who goes, you know what, in certain situations, I know we're up big, but 4th and 3 and we're going to throw it. I just got a guy right here I believe in, right? One that if I think they're running zone and we got choice routes or we can find that throwing lane in the zone, just kind of trust him, want to get him the ball. And that's kind of how this looks to me. The route is you're getting a curl route back to the football up here. Tight end's off the line and he's flat when he out. It's either a runoff or a curl here, but it's something up the field. I couldn't see the completion of the route. And here it's like find that hitch in their zone so that we can get an easy completion and convert on 4th and 3. And with a 4-man rush, the back steps in and checks and he releases. So it gives you 1, 2, and 3 underneath against their zone, just trying to find that throw. And it looks to me like on the snap, if you look right here, Chapin's looking for him all the way. Kind of telegraphs it a little bit, puts his eyes on him. And what the result is that even though on the snap, you got 2-man route over here to the left, and they've got 3 on top of 2, which, it seems like numbers. Because eyes come here initially right away, it pulls a defender and it pulls a safety. And so when you watch the play develop, they all flow to their left, the offense is right, and then you get this easy out route here, one-on-one. But that's because, his eyes are over here. He didn't look over there. They're just following his eyes. And this is a good job, too, of I got to change my arm slot. I want to make sure as a quarterback that he just, at the very least, we can catch it and fall down. I don't want to lead him into this defender, and I don't want to put the ball high because if I do, he'll get blown up. I want it in his numbers, zip, just catch and run. But look at the confidence. Catch it because it's an accurate throw and because it's very catchable. Turn and now size up another, run away from one, make one miss, avoid the defender, make another miss, and go make a bunch of yards after the catch. And so you convert. Look here at what it looked like underneath. See this arm slot? Whether it's necessary or not, I don't know. But whatever you do, get it to him, put him on his number where he can make yards after the catch. Good, strong, accurate throw. And results in a touchdown. Put him in motion. Same guy. We're going to run with him man to man. Everybody's playing man. Gets one defender out of that, out of the boundary. Run zone back the other way and walk in. Good block too by Reese. Good block by your center, right guard, right tackle. Those are all wins right there and kind of made it look easy, right? And you'd like to see more of that. And the fact of the matter is, all this offensive, defensive stuff that we're watching, it's all going to be a whole different ball game when you're playing against SEC players. No question about it. But this is a good example of you get a win right here, center. You get a win right here, guard. You get a win right here, tackle, who pushes it out. And so there's no leak on the backside either. No, there was, but it just ran around him. Big play by J.P. Purvis. Punt block team. They don't slow him up. He's there. Get a hand on it. And I don't think the punter took too much time. I just think nobody put a hand on it. Normally, the rule is, this back, you got to check him. You're not going to stay and block if you're on the coverage unit, but you got to put your hand on him and check him, or at least bump him to the outside. I don't think it's his responsibility here on the edge of the upbacks, because you've got two. These in the middle are his responsibility. So I think you just got to check him here a little more. This is excellent urgency. And you've seen some punts of the night, probably timed it up, and he's thinking, you know what, I can get one. And if I, come off the line, time the snap like he did, don't get checked, get in there, maybe get a hand on it. That's what happens. And the only thing wrong with this is when the freshman picks it up for a touchdown, first thing you got to do right here, is turn, find the teammate who blocked it, and give him the football. Okay? That's the first thing we got to do. And maybe he couldn't, but let's give the guy the credit who blocked the punt. All right, interception up here that turned into points for State on a great return after the interception. He's trying to throw an out route, jump it underneath, pick it, make the quarterback miss, and take it to the house. Flag was on them, so the play stood. And I was looking back at this. I think it's a good example of like a quarterback kind of making his mind up before the snap where he wants to go with the football. Based on pre-snap and not able to really see it clearly enough what's going on post-snap. Here's what I mean by that. So backside, it's run off. I say backside, really it's, into the boundary. It's just away from where he throws it. Tight end's going to drag across. It's 3rd and 4, so they just need a third down and short completion. And up here, what you've got called is go ball and out route at 8 to 10 to the sideline. Okay, and so pre-snap, what I think this quarterback sees pre-snap is he makes his mind up. I've got a safety in the middle field. He's by far the deepest defender, which tells me it looks like either man free or cover 3. So meaning man free, he's a free safety in the middle. Cover 3, he's a free safety in the middle. If it's 3 in terms of like a zone, then, somebody's going to drop, right? Corners are going to bail out of there. And if that were to happen, if it were a cover 3 with that safety like it looks, and a corner has a deep third and he gets out of there, then you can see if I've got the deep ball. But if I don't, I'm going to have that out route. I'm thinking I'm underneath because he'll be chasing it to the flat, right? But that's not what happens. You're going to see on the snap, these underneath defenders fly out of there to deep thirds, and that's how you get to cover 3. Those become your cover 3 defenders. You're playing zone underneath, but the corners are able to stay where they are. So you're just disguising the coverage, make it look like one thing, and it's actually something else. These corners stay where they are as a part of the underneath zone coverage. And these two fly out of there to be your deep. So that's why he's staying where he is. He lets the deep ball go right past him, run past him. He stays where he is, and the out route runs right to him. He stays right underneath it, jumps the football, and here we go the other way. And I think it's just an example of he's thinking one thing based on a pre-snap look, doesn't see it clearly and read it post-snap, and it gets him. So the key would be, again, on the snap, watch these two defenders. You can see what they're doing. Boom, there they go. They're out of there going deep thirds. Corners, they're staying. See, so you can't make your mind up. You got to read it. You see him stay. It is zone, but if he's reading that side, and they'll show this in film. You see that defender over top, he's going to get my go ball and run to it. Underneath, you're going to run into a corner. And so the deal is going to be you got to swing that head back around, go to third read, find this tight end coming across, and then there's your completion for a first down. It's probably going to be bang, bang, but there's your completion. Instead, never see the corner, didn't think he was sitting out there in the flat, which he is, throw it right to him, and it's house call. So, stuff like that happens when you're still a college player and you're trying to learn. And two, when the pressure's on. But there you can see it. You can see what the action of the corner. Right side of your screen. Bypass him because I know I have a defender. You can see his shadow. I have a defender who's rotated on top. So I got him. So I'm staying here, my responsibility. Here comes the out route. He's throwing it right to me. Quarterback never saw the defender underneath, made his mind up before the snap. And it's just a mistake that he wishes he could have back. And a big play, great return as well after. Do something with the ball when you get it. And this was a night that there were a lot of things that were fun to watch. And this was kind of a good night capper.